Hey, what's up, VC? It's Steve again, and it's time for another hard rock and heavy metal update. As you can tell by the music in the background, very hard and heavy, huh? Just give it a second. So we're listening to the Speed Kills comp, Speed Kills again. Killer comp, highly recommended. This is Merciless Death we're listening to. It's got Merciless Death, Avenger of Blood, Enforcer, Toxic Holocaust, Hatred, and Warbringer. It's got 2 songs from each. Great comp, all great bands. Very good. So let's just kind of jump into it. As I mentioned in my last video there, my birthday is coming up. It's on Christmas Day. Obviously, Christmas is coming up. And every year my dad sends me $50 for each. So I get $100 every year. So this is a stack of the stuff, the metal that I bought with the money that he sent, as well as some additional trades that were left over from the last video that I didn't show last time. So first up, you know, a true heavy metal classic. Many consider this the first hard rock heavy metal album. Blue Cheer, and I never say this right. What is it? Uncibus? Vincibus Eruptum. This is the repress on Sundays from a couple years ago. I believe this is 2009. Every time I see this, it's like 20-25 bucks, and I found it for 10 bucks, so I had to grab it. You know, the most popular song on here is no, I'm not going to see it. Summertime Blues. Their version of Summertime Blues. I think the whole album's really good. Definitely worth checking out if you've never heard this before. Just kind of one of the predecessors, the promo hard rock or the proto metal sound. I went to a different store, and actually these are kind of mixed up where I got them from, but I found this store that has one of the best metal selections I've ever seen. They're also some of the highest prices I've ever seen. And then the albums that I got didn't end up being in as good a condition as they looked. So it was all around kind of a disappointment, but I did get a couple of good albums. Man, I found some really rare stuff that you never find, and unfortunately, man, I'll never go there again. I won't buy any of it just because, like I said, his new wave of British heavy metal selection is amazing, but everything's 30, 40, 50 bucks, and a lot of it's stuff that you can get online all day long for 7 or 8 bucks, you know. It just doesn't make sense to me. For instance, he's got the entire Raven discography, all for 35 bucks a piece. Just, that's his set price for Raven. You can get original pressings of almost all the Raven albums for under 10 bucks. Yeah, it just blows me away. I understand supporting your store, but when they're trying to rip your head off, you know. But at his store, I did pick up Attention Choppers from Stars. It's pretty. It looks pretty clean when I bought it, but it's pretty loud. I'm gonna take it to a buddy of mine that's got a vacuum cleaner. Vacuum cleaner. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The vacuum pressurized cleaner for records, and see if that cleans it up some. But one of the cool things about it, it's the first time I've seen a copy in the original shopping bag. The insert's a shopping bag, which I always thought was cool. Still a great album, a great band. An album definitely worth having, especially if you like glam rock. Now, next up, speaking of Raven, Stay Hard. Now, this one I got at the second store that I went to, where I got a lot of these from. This is one that he had priced at almost 30 bucks or 35 bucks, whatever it was. I paid $8 for this one at the other store, and it's in mint condition, you know, so... I'm sorry, I paid 7 bucks for it. But Raven, Stay Hard. This is a little bit later. This was 85. I like this album. I like the 2 before it better, though. This is a really cool find. This one, it was another one I only paid 4 or 5 bucks for. Saxon, Wheels of Steel. Killer album. I love this album. Got the radio promo sticker here. Promo. It's not a white label promo, but still. It's in great condition, it sounds great, and it's a killer album. I also picked up a copy of Lick It Up in really good condition. This is one that was missing from my Kiss collection. Again, I picked this one up for $6 or $7. Next up, we've got Living on the Edge from Axe. This band, man, I tell you what, the more I hear from them, the more I like them. It's a Texas hard rock band. Some of their stuff verges on metal, some of their riffs and stuff. Really good stuff, though. It's a band I really recommend checking out. This is the third album of theirs that I have. I think they only have one more studio album that I need. I like them more and more with each listen. Just really cool 70s style hard rock. This one was 1980 when this one came out. I think this was their second album. Their logo changed a little bit for their subsequent albums. Next up, we got a little bit of UFO, Force It. I mean, what can I say about this? Michael Schenker, Danny Way, just a classic from UFO. Let's see. I knew I had, yep. And then also No Places to Run. Still a classic. I like the later UFO, don't get me wrong. I just don't like it as much as the Michael Schenker era from the 70s. This was 1980. Oh, 1980. So this is a few years after Michael Schenker left. Still some killer songs on here. Still a very fun listen, and you should have it in your collection. Next up, King Cobra. This is the one album that I was happy with that I got from that store where everything was overpriced. This was $5 and it was sealed. You know, it blows me away that the way that stuff was priced there. But King Cobra, thrill of a lifetime, great album. Mark Free, I'm a big fan of. I always liked his voice. He's just got a really good voice for metal. Carmine Appice, the Appice Brothers, or Appice, I'm sorry. I've never been a big fan of the Appice Brothers. You know, I've liked all the bands that they've been in. I don't know what it is about them. I've just never been a fan. Like the Appice era Ozzy Osbourne band, I just wasn't a fan of. It's just, I don't know. This is a killer album, don't get me wrong. The drums are good on it. There's just something about the Appice Brothers that I just don't get into. But the biggest hit on here is probably Iron Eagle. But the whole album, it's really good. I've always liked this album. Next up, we got a true classic, Mountain, and this is Climbing. There's not much what can you say? Leslie West was amazing. I just mentioned this in another video or in the comments to one of Scott's videos. This band just doesn't get enough credit for the influence that they had on hard rock, you know. Everybody talks about Led Zeppelin, they talk about Blue Cheer, which I just showed. They talk about Uriah Heep, and Mountain seems to get left out. They were a very early proto-metal hard rock style band. I mean, they, as I mentioned before, Leslie West and Mountain played at Woodstock. And if you go back and listen, it's definitely psych songs, but if you listen to Leslie West's guitar riffs, it's very hard rock riffing, very thick and heavy riffs. I recommend you go and check them out. There's videos on YouTube of 2 or 3 of the songs that they played at Woodstock, and it's just so different than everything else that was being played at the time. So, again, Mountain Climb. This is their first official release from 1970. I think they had a couple of EPs and stuff that came out prior to that in the late 60s. I also picked this up. This is the one thing from Black Friday that I didn't trade. I paid outright for, and this is one I was really excited about getting. This is Vengeance Human Sacrifice. This is a promo copy. There were 25 promos. 15 were given out to various media outlets, and then 10 of them were held by Bill Rocks. And for Black Friday at midnight, he released those 10. So you could go on the website and buy them. So I made sure I logged on right at midnight, ordered that, and then ordered one of the Ultimatum albums, which I'll show in a different video, one of the CDs. But very happy to finally have this in the collection. I went to buy it a couple months ago and it had already sold out. So I was real happy to see that they were going to throw it back up on the website again. And it sounds amazing, man. It's a killer album. For a picture disc, it's super clear. I highly recommend it. I saw a couple days ago that there's still a couple on Facebook, or I mean on Amazon that you can pick up, so I recommend grabbing those if you don't have it in your collection already. Next, Look What the Cat Dragged In from Poison. This is an album that I've always had a copy of since it came out. I've got the tape here. I've had the CD before. I've had the record. I had this record back in the 80s. It's always been a good album. The album cover has always driven me nuts. I mean, that's got to be one of the worst album covers ever. What can you say about Poison, man? In a lot of ways, they really are everything that was wrong with glam metal in the 80s. What more can I say, you know? Next up, this is probably one of the biggest albums from this band, Agents of Fortune by Blue Oyster Cult. I had this on CD. I see it on record all the time and I never get it because it's just always in crappy condition. Like I said, it's a super popular song, mainly because of Don't Fear the Reaper. So when I saw this one in really good condition, I had to grab it, you know, and I paid $3 for it, so couldn't pass up. Little Blue Oyster Cult. Next up, I talked about this in this band in my last video when I showed one of their other albums, but this is Styx. This is their first album. If you haven't heard this album, you got to check it out. I know many of you that didn't watch my album are asking, why is this in a hard rock heavy metal update? Well, Styx started off as a hard rock band in the 70s, and a really good hard rock band at that. They did 4 albums on Wooden Nickel Records, which were their 4 hard rock albums, before they signed to a major label and then started putting out AOR. I don't know if that was a decision that they made or if they were pushed by the label. I'm not sure, but man, their hard rock kicks ass. This one has more of a psych influence or a psych feel than any of the next 3 albums, which were more a little more hard rock. But man, this is still just a killer album, and I highly recommend you check it out. Next up, Ted Nugent and the Amboy Dukes. Man, I'm just finding Ted Nugent left and right. Actually, before I forget, I got that one there too. Again, I picked this up for $2 or $3. You know, the vinyl itself is in mint condition. The more I listen to the Amboy Dukes, the more I like them. I only need one more of their record now, you know, one more of their records. So, and then we've also got Survival of the Fittest live. This is a really killer live album. I definitely recommend you check this out. Ted Nugent sounds amazing on this album. Really, really good. And speaking of Ted Nugent live, Double Live Gonzo. This is another album that I've had in the past. I had this on CD a number of years ago. I'm sure it got sold when I sold the rest of most of my CD collection. Sorry about that. But I was happy to finally find a copy. I've seen it a couple times in the last few months. Again, this is another album that's pretty much always thrash when you run across it. So when I found it in really clean condition, I picked it up, and I've actually played this. I played this 2 times yesterday all the way through. It's just a killer show. His guitar on this is just amazing. That's pretty much it for this update, guys. Again, thanks for everything. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for subscribing. You guys really do mean a lot to me. Other than that, take care, BC.